What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. I hope you're all doing really well. I hope you're having a great day. Grab a coffee, relax, kick back. We're going to talk about a dungeon run here that I did yesterday with the brothers. We did it in a plus 15 mists. It actually was a 16 mists, but then we ended up wiping on the trash pack that you usually skip in the opener of mists, and we wiped on it because, well, it was a bunch of reasons, but anyway, I'm gonna talk about that when we get there. But I wanna talk about this Miss plus 15 we did. So we're running the Stormstrike build. We're running the Legacy of the Frostwitch build, and it's excuse me, so it's more of a single target, bit of a funnel type build. We have stronger single target, less AoE, but it's also essentially a cooldown less build. So there's no big cooldowns. We didn't take a sentence. I was trying Earth and Spike here on this one, which gives you 20% more physical and nature damage dealt to the target. So it's really good with the Stormstrike build because Stormstrike does physical damage. So there's actually no other way to buff Stormstrike other than with this talent. Like your mastery doesn't interact with Stormstrike because it's physical, not nature. So there's a bunch of sort of problems that way. I wanted to try this build out and just see if we could sort of funnel as many Stormstrikes into the Earth and Spike window as possible. So without further ado, this is the dungeon, and I want to talk about a bunch of things once we get in. Let me get my notes. Flies out the door. Your party is not here. What?
I
Say
knew
what?
something was wrong.
Say what now?
No
So
one seems to know which direction
here's the
to go.
opening pack. You're going to see our damage. Again, we're not really running an AoE build. The two hunters will take care of that. Let me move this over here. Sorry. Oh, what did I just do?
Right away.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Let me go back to this. I don't know why that wasn't open. Let me back up just a little bit. Okay, go. Here we go.
Nasty pack number 1.
So this is it.
I'm stunning right away.
Again, this is like our moment to shine right here. Because
Can you grab that?
we don't have any cooldowns. The hunters do have cooldowns, but they don't use them here. They're going to use them on the next pack. So this is us. Hero and I basically take care of this pack together. He blows his big 3-minute cooldown, and I'm just using all my stuff that I have.
Yeah, we'll need. Yeah, your cooldowns on the next pack is perfect for us.
So again, important to understand your composition and what it is that you're trying to accomplish with your particular build. Obviously, we're not running Doomwind, so we don't have a big burst window like everybody else does. Our damage is hopefully going to be more consistent over the packs to pack.
Essence, we're good. I got stunned, no.
Like I get stunned twice here, or 3 times. He always picks me, basically. So they're blowing their big cooldowns. We're almost doing 10k again, but they're doing
You guys used your stuff. You're
25k, which is perfect. That's what we want.
Why am I getting stunned then? I'm not dangerous.
No, you're very important.
I'm really not.
You're like the aggro magnet or whatever however I put that.
Friggin' Wind Fury, man. Alright, so we're gonna skip this, right?
So this is a big talking point here. Everybody always skips this pack, but I run so many dungeons, so many myths, and people skip this and they fail, and then we basically wipe the entire key, which is what happened to our plus 16 myths that we had here before it became a 15. We did this, but we ended up wiping because everybody we tried to do like a skip and it didn't work out, and then this pack pulled. So like usually you have to either mind soothe this mob right here or like paralyze him or something and then bounce him away with a Ring of Peace, but people fail to do that. And what I'm going to show in this video is that you can just pull this pack. You don't have to skip this pack. And what it means is that later in the dungeon you can skip other packs that you would have pulled
so we gotta
otherwise.
the harvester?
The harvesters. So
this is a tough pack, but you just have to use the tools at your disposal to deal with the harvesters. They'll start doing the harvest of everybody's souls or whatever. You just have to figure out how to deal with that with your group, and you're good to go.
Once they start doing their... Not yet. I'm going to kick right now. When they start doing the other ability, just stun one of them.
Yeah, I'm going to do the non-skull one.
Okay.
So you need to coordinate with your group as to who's doing what.
Channel thing, right?
And you can deal with it.
Someone get that one?
I'm not on that one. Focus on the other one.
So I have Sundering.
I'm going to save Sundering for when they start doing it again.
Rocky's out, right?
Yeah, he's dead now.
I used Rocky to help with the aggro.
Cool.
Help with... There's Harvest. I Sunder this one. So we dealt with it. I'm going to do some healing just to get our group through.
That's weird. Doesn't make any sense.
You just have to use your tools to get through this pack. And you can do it. There, we're through.
Mm.
How's it feeling over there? That's good.
Bound.
You got through the hard part.
They're bound. I know it doesn't work in the big guy, I guess, but
That's great.
Right? So you guys can
Yeah, good
see,
job,
like,
Nick, that was good.
and again, we have consistent damage. Nobody had their cooldowns there, but we'll eventually get to the
Yes,
top
please.
because we have that consistent damage
Load-
that
load
keeps
it
coming
back
through.
first then.
That's how this build kind of works. You don't have any cooldowns to worry about. You just do the same amount of damage every single time. So we're at the top of the damage meters at the end there. We're going to pull the next pack because our hunters have their
Register right
cooldowns
now.
up.
It'll be up in time for me to grab his.
My job here is to basically kick harvesters. Like, it's very important. I have the ability to do that. I have the crowd control. I have a cap totem. I have sundering, and I have the lowest cooldown range kick in the game. So, like, I am responsible, in my opinion, for doing this kind of stuff.
His thing.
That's what you should do if you're a shaman.
I'm gonna stun right now.
We're just helping the tank, right? You're taking off the pressure. We're funneling damage into the harvesters. That's what our build can do. Okay, mess up. I kick harvest essence
I
there.
kicked that.
So those are the tools. You got all these tools. You got to use them. This is what your spec can do. This is what you
This is
bring,
good stuff.
especially as a shaman. But
They're enraged. The enrage is so nasty. 50% more
Yeah.
damage.
I can pull the one off, but it just I only have the one.
Okay. You kind of.
Hero's just getting slapped. Just really important, guys, to remember that when you're in Mythic Plus, it isn't just about doing the most damage. It's not. It's about all these other things. What are the tools that you have to contribute to your team? As a shaman, you have so many. We've talked about it in other videos before, right? But the tool belt is so big. Okay, let's move forward. We're gonna pull. Yeah, I'm gonna show you this hunter pull, which is really, really cool.
He's got it too.
1920. So we kill this guy, and then before you pull the next boss,
End up and run between
I'm gonna pause. Look at this, right? The next boss is over here. There's these two guys that we skipped here. You can go
them.
pull the next tormentor through the wall. The hunters can do it.
This guy
Like
won't
him.
pull, right? This boss.
Yeah, they
shouldn't.
won't. No, that's right. They won't pull. And we just wait here for Quaz to do his magic.
So Quag's gonna do it with prickles. He's gonna send his
We
little
have
guy
to
through.
pull him.
There they
he
go.
goes. He's doing it. That's awesome.
It's just a really cool trick that hunters can use, and warlocks, I think, as well.
All right, now I gotta pull him back.
So if you have a hunter in the group,
That's
Run,
awesome.
Prickles,
Well
run.
done.
you know,
Run, little Brickles.
he does Inferno, but it
Oh,
doesn't
I
hit
thought we were
us.
gonna get hit by Inferno there.
No, we're good. I
But
think.
if you have a hunter in the group, they can do this trick.
Come through.
Nicely done. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
I didn't know
That's-
what I was doing last time, and the
I
team
got-
expected me to do it.
that's
and
my-
I'll get the next one.
My kick.
I
Yeah.
got next. I got next.
I tried to pretend like I was smart, and we figured it out eventually.
So
was
that's how
really
you do
cool.
that.
I got next.
Move forward a little bit here. We're gonna have a discussion on the AOE cap or uncapped.
You pull like a bunch of stuff together into one.
No, I understand that, but I think that there's strategies that can work for people that have AOE caps, because otherwise I don't think Blizzard would be like that mean to be like, well, you just can't take these classes into High Mythic Plus. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me. I don't think they're that stupid. I think they're pretty good at making their game, actually.
Part of it too is again, it's just like it's like the thing that might be mathematically best becomes the only choice. And you're like, I think
Yeah.
probably not.
Exactly.
So this is a really big discussion that we have. Everybody, I know this is probably an unpopular take, but I do think that you can bring classes that are AoE capped into Mythic Plus, and I'm really sick and tired of people saying that you can't. And I know that I'm only doing a 15, but I'm going to do higher dungeons as I progress through and get my shaman some more rating. It's really, really hard to find those high rated groups because you have to have a certain amount of rating and yada yada. So here's what I want to say. We need to stop saying that you can't take these groups into Mythic Plus, especially as we get to the higher keys, because there's still lots that an enhancement shaman can offer, even in the AoE setting. Like, there's cleave stuff that's very, very strong. Cleave fights are incredible. Even in high pulls where you're pulling like 10 plus mobs, they're still doing damage. Even without Doom Winds, you can still do damage. And moving into 9.2, in particular, there are some amazing like Skybreaker's Venthyr fire builds that you can do that, yes, they are still capped on AoE, but they still can do damage in an AoE setting. They have 6 target caps on the Flame Shock, but your Chain Harvest will still hit 5 people. And as enemies start to die, as the 10 starts to become 8 and the 8 becomes 7 and 6, then your damage, which the other guys have their big burst windows of their uncapped AoE, you can start taking over, and your damage will start to go higher than them. And it's not like you're contributing nothing. I'm just sick and tired of people saying that, like, if you have capped AoE, that you contribute 0 to a higher Mythic Plus. It's just not true. It's just completely untrue. And it really makes it so that people feel like they can't bring classes like Enhancement Shaman into higher keys because, like, well, you have capped AoE if you're not running Doomwind, so you're just absolute trash. It's just not true, guys. It's not true. You can still contribute lots. And especially in 9.2, we're gonna see that moving forward. So that's my take. I know it's
Like,
probably
it's not
unpopular,
that it's
but
bad. Don't misunderstand me, but like,
I got that one. Pig. Sorry, should have said that.
Yeah, just keep DPSing.
so
Just
we're gonna
DPS.
clean these up, and then we're gonna move forward onto the boss fight to
Yeah, they enrage, right?
Ingra. Move forward a little bit. 2140. Here we go.
So save cooldowns for the second half here.
Again, as a shaman, you have so many
I'll
tools for
kick
this fight.
Ingra first.
You have the fear totem. You have a range kick, which is really important when all the blue stuff's on the ground, right? Use those tools.
yeah, that's me.
Watch the beam.
You got to use your tools. So again, for us in this dungeon with Legacy of the Frost Witch, we should be funneling as much damage into this boss as we
I'm
can.
kicking him. We can move now.
So this is what I mean. You can move off of the blue stuff. It didn't end up working,
I can't kick him again.
but that's okay. Just gotta have
Yeah, I'm up
patience.
now.
Gotta have
I
patience.
can't go in there. I'll just die. There we go.
Okay, so we lust. We go crazy here. Now the hunters are gonna absolutely pop off and do lots and lots of damage, which is good. But we're all gonna do damage, right? I'm not doing no damage because I'm not running Doom Winds. Look, and I'm still fine. I'm just behind them by a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. We get this boss down. You just have to work with whatever composition you have,
I
whatever
think we should
composition you're
switch.
working
Got that
with.
one.
You have to make sure that you're just working with the group.
I don't know.
We end up killing him. Move down here. Here's a great example
Yeah,
of how.
I think this monk will
Here's a great example of how good this build can be just at cleave. Okay, so you're just
Probably
cleaving
figure
here.
it
She went.
2 or 3 targets would be
Okay, she
is
missed
perfect.
twice over the shot.
I think he's got an
I love that.
automated thing.
Yes, we're running Vesper Totem as well as Kyrian.
I'm trying to switch targets.
So we're way ahead of everybody else here because this is what our build does, and their builds are more revolving around their
Sound effect.
Wild Spirits cooldown, right?
Oh boy.
They have a 2-minute sort of window, whereas ours is just all the time. So any cleave fights are good. Here's another good example of a cleave fight, 4 targets. And what I want to say too, in a dungeon like Mists Satyr and Scythe, or a Theater of Pain, or even like Sanguine Depths, there's so many moments where you're fighting packs of 4 to 5 mobs, and your damage is perfectly fine. There's sort of there's moments where there's like forced capped AOE, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Where your class is gonna absolutely shine.
Sweet man.
I'm gonna stun once they start doing stuff. Like right now. I just sundering all that.
Sundering into a stun, into a kick, so many tools. Instant flame shocks to get rid of the volcanic or the explosives. You can use your spear walkers to get out of that.
I can't get bucking. I can't get bucking.
I messed this up
I'm gonna
here.
back up.
Yeah.
Oh, I stayed in too long.
You can see our damage though, right? Our damage is high because we don't have cooldowns. We're always going to do this much damage if we have 4 targets in front of us, and our Vesper Totem's up.
Monk
But
immediately bubbled me. That was
Vesper Totem is almost always up. So this is kind of the cool part about this build, is that your only real cooldown is like a 40-second Vesper Totem and a 40-second Sundering.
crazy.
Very, very cool. Okay. Moving forward,
Yeah, that's fine. My stuff's up.
this is just the strength of our class, and I want to make sure I like hammer that home, is that we've got very good cleave, very good 5 to 6 target AoE. That kind of stuff is really good, right? Let's get to the Mistcaller boss fight. 29. Here we go. So again, we should have a little bit better damage until the Wild Spirits come down.
Like kiddo.
Freeze tag, pretty annoying. I was using, I think Earth and Spike is okay. My synopsis on Earth and Spike is that it's
Yeah, the
okay.
lightning was huge.
I think Ascendance is better because you just have that guaranteed burst window with Ascendance, and it has an AoE portion as well.
I don't know how to do this part.
Only empty. Only
Oh, I
empty.
love the monk. Oh, go monk.
So like, the Earth and Spike is okay if you get it off consistently, but sometimes it's hard to just sometimes it's hard to get it off consistently, and Ascendance is just a more reliable button to press. So yeah, I don't know. I want to experiment with Earth and Spike a little bit more. I know that you can take Earth and Spike into a Doomwinds build as well, and it's kind of interesting, right? Because you're getting so much extra damage. But the boss fight goes well. This is a tough boss fight with all the stuff going on. Nothing else really crazy happens here. So I am going to push forward.
Only one with a circle.
We're going to get to 33. Let's go to 33. Oh yeah, that was the Tormentor. Here's some
got
good
mine up still.
I
cleave
got the
once
next.
again.
That's me.
Kicking really important. They got their Wild Spirits
get that
down,
next one.
so this is me just trying to cleave with my regular abilities,
I'm moving for no reason.
fighting
Yeah,
against people who have big
'Cause you're
cooldowns. So
melee.
they're going to do more damage, obviously.
Kind of.
But we're always going to do the same amount of damage, right? We're always up around 8 to 10k.
Missed
And in
against
this-
CDs, that's good actually.
This next pack, this is an uncapped AoE. This is this is more than this is 10 targets, right? We don't have uncapped AoE, but you're going to see how decent our damage is anyway. I don't even have Vesper Totem right now.
Yeah, I kicked that one.
I got next. I got next.
So we're still at like 15k, right? Even though we don't have any, we have a capped AoE build right now. We're still doing 13 to 15k. Once Vesper Totem comes back here, you're gonna see it'll go up again. So like, this is what I mean about this idea of saying that if you don't have uncapped AoE, you're bad. It's just wrong. Like, yeah, we can still do fine damage. The damage is fine. That's fine. It's good.
I was like trying to find the explosives. That was a little
Yeah.
distracting.
Again, 4 targets. We could drag these into the next pack, and that's something that you can do if you have a bunch of uncapped
When you guys
AoE
get kicked,
people.
is that you do?
Yeah. It's always the big guy.
So that's what the bigger and the higher Mythic Plus, you'd probably drag this into the next group and then do a big uncapped AoE and blow it all up. But again, we're okay on the timer here. We're gonna time this, and it's a matter of what do you want to handle with your group? What are you okay handling, right? It's perfectly fine to do
Yeah, I
this.
kicked that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's good.
Like on a 15, 16, 17, you can pull like this, probably even an 18.
I always hover over my disengage in this part because I don't actually understand what knocks me off, but it's happened before.
That thing knocks you off. That
actually.
puddle.
circle.
Okay, that makes more sense.
It's
So I'm
just
like
like a
rather
green puddle.
Again, we're
rather
doing
than ask, I
9k,
just come and
consistent
disengage
damage, right?
That's awesome.
We're gonna be at the top of the damage charts here in a second. This is just what this build offers. I think moving into 9.2, this build's going to get a little bit worse compared to the other Venthyr builds that are coming, but the Venthyr builds are just going to be so awesome. So you can see, I want you to see pack to pack to pack. I want you to see our consistent damage right there. We did about 8.5, almost 9k. We're going to have the same results here again. We're up at 9k again.
I was on for explosives there. I was like, that's a lot of
Me too.
explosives.
Me too.
Yeah, I get it. It's like.
It's okay, it's good.
But yeah,
Just
it's,
sometimes I'm like, by the time he asks me, it's gonna be too late, and then
it's when they all pop up at once and your face is like, ah.
yeah, it's true.
Now we're at 10k, right? 10k on the big AoE pack again. That's pack to pack. Once again, let's move to the next
Are we good
pack.
for
We're going to
percent? I
keep
just
it up.
said my CDs here. They still die pretty fast.
Yeah, we're perfect on percent actually.
Try to get the explosives
I mean,
when you
not
can.
perfect. He did go over a little bit.
Oh,
But that's what I mean. Like the
Leave it.
route is so clean if you do that one well.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. If you do that first pack well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I really like that. If you do the first pack really well at the beginning, then you can just have a really clean route through the end of the dungeon. Once again, we're doing 9 to 10k AoE here. Nothing wrong with this at all. This is perfectly fine. This is what we get to do pack to pack to pack. That's kind of what I was trying to show off there.
He got turned into a seed. I love
Yeah.
it.
I still have my seed. I'm gonna win this fight.
Again, it's about pulling within the limits of your team. What is your team good at doing? What do you want? How do you want to pull? Right. Here's the final boss fight.
Are your CDs up, Quaz?
Yep.
Okay, we'll just lust right away.
Nothing too crazy here. I think the biggest thing that you need to do as a shaman on this fight, 100%, this is your job every time
I got
you're a
Parasite.
shaman on
I
this
should get
fight.
it every time.
Get Parasite. That's your job.
That's me.
The reason
it.
it's your job is because you have a ranged kick, and there's multiple times when you're going to have to run out of the boss of the melee, and you won't be able to kick Parasite if you don't have a range kick.
Thanks. The explosives will be an issue on this boss.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just plan to get him.
So yeah, Quag's gonna help out with the explosives because here sometimes they spawn like on the outer rim.
Someone. I got
Again, I'm not using Earth and Spike correctly. I need to
I
just
think
take
I
a
had
second.
to get that one. Are you okay?
Yeah, you guys are good. Like as soon as they said the word "someone," everyone's like,
Yeah, I was like, tap target.
More
So you're
search.
gonna see in a minute here. I'll have to run out because I get linked with Mind Link, but Parasite's coming as well. Very important moment in the fight. I have to kick Parasite before I run out.
I got Parasite.
There's a regular Parasite. I think it's the next one. Vesper Totem's coming back. There's Mind Link. So I run out. It's the next Mind Link, sorry. I run back in here. Again, we're doing okay damage here. It's perfectly fine. Almost
Is that
9k.
the first pack of ads?
Yeah,
Wow.
because we phased her so quickly.
Here it comes. Mind Link plus Parasite. So I don't...
I got Parasite. Now I'm
Yeah,
running away.
did you see that? So I didn't run away right away because I was like, I think Parasite's coming. So I just kind of stayed close. But that's a problem in this fight. You'll have multiple overlaps of Parasite plus Mind Link, and on Tyrannical it gets really bad.
Oh, I can't get that explosive.
I got
Okay,
it,
good.
I got it.
Job.
Sorry, Bob. I had to get this.
No, that was I like stood there for a while because I was like, I need to get this Parasite before I run away with the Mind Link
Ah.
thing.
I win. He sucks. I win.
Quag,
Point,
Quag beat this other hunter by 0.1.
point one.
pretty good.
Unbelievable.
His eye level.
So you can see our damage overall is not that far behind. We're like 600 DPS behind the other guys, right? 600, 700 DPS behind the other guys. It's just not that bad. I know it didn't look super great in the dungeons, but it's that pack to pack to pack, getting the consistent damage every single time. That's what you get, and like that's why it's good. And I think that it's just important to see. It's important to see the pack to pack damage, and then it's also important to look at the overall and to evaluate them both and say, okay, this is what I was able to contribute to this fight. Not only I was able to contribute good damage. I'm not the highest damage, but I was able to contribute good damage. I was able to contribute kicks, sundering interrupts, cap totem interrupts, earthbind totems to slow on like the Mist Caller boss fight when she summons that little Vulpin that's gonna freeze everybody. You can slow it down with Earth Bind Totem, and then I'm able to funnel my damage with Earth and Spike and my Stormstrike resets into a single target and do lots of single target damage. So that's what you get to do. I do think Ascendance is probably the better way to go, but you need to see the whole picture here. What are you bringing to a Mythic Plus fight? Not just what damage are you bringing, but what are you bringing on the whole? And it's good. I was the third DPS, but not by very far. And on top of that, I contributed way more in the utility side of things, which I'm very happy to do. And that's a great contribution you can make to the Mythic Plus environment. So there you go, guys. That's a plus 15 that we did on live servers, obviously. I think in 9.2, there's going to be all kinds of really cool builds opening up for Enhancement Shaman. And this Stormstrike build will probably go by the wayside because there's just going to be other options, especially fire options that are coming in. So we're going to have really strong chain harvests with Fire Nova going off. So I can't wait for 9.2 to get here, honestly. But for now, we're doing this build, and I'm going to keep trying to do this on higher keys to see how well it performs in the higher Mythic Plus when people are saying that you must have uncapped AoE, which I just kind of firmly disagree with at this point. So there you go. That's the dungeon. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, give me a like and a subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.